That's when you mention the others, their name and stuff.
Okay. Good morning. Welcome back. I'm trying to get hold of Wildfire. Then we have a guest on this show. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. M.
Yeah, we are back on air after the glitch.
Every kid when they are teethering, they have these teethering diseases that come in. So that was us, but we are good now.
Morning to Farah Bachi, morning to Be Live. We are talking about Professor Moyo and Kasukuwere.
Yes.
And what I learned this morning is a different story from what is being shared. Welcome, Mukoma Masimba. What is being shared is that they were assisted in leaving the country by the powers that be. But actually, I heard another Mugabe story.
Okay, what is the latest story? Because I remember we also saw a picture of them in a plane. Presumably, they were going to Mozambique.
No, that they walked out of the country.
Oh, okay.
They were not in any plane.
Oh, okay.
And now they are in Kenya. And if they didn't know already, their bank accounts have been frozen effective today.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Not only interesting, that's what happens if you get into the wrong basket.
I guess they were not ready for this, eh?
Who is ever ready for the wrong basket?
No, at times you always lie to yourself and say, look, I will anticipate this move, but for them now their accounts are frozen, which means they've got no access to funds anymore. Let's hope they had enough when they move to Kenya.
Imagine the politics of Africa. One day you are so powerful, the next day you're powerless. And there's nothing you can do. And imagine what 3 weeks can bring. It can bring misery.
Yes.
Untold misery. So I was just laughing at somebody. I said, no, we have been at it for the last 18 years. And he thought it was a joke. He thought definitely this was a big joke. So when you look at it, have you seen the bank account freeze order?
Is it the one that you are sharing on the screen?
The one that can you read it?
Maybe you can zoom it just a bit.
Okay. Is it getting better?
Okay, on my side it hasn't taken effect, but just give me a second. Oh yes, freezing of accounts. Professor Moyo and Pfebve Kasukuwere, former government ministers. Yes, now I can read it clearly. Yeah.
Okay, can you read it for us? Because now they are called Mr. There's no more honor.
There's no more honorable comrade.
There's no more honorable.
Okay. So number one, you are directed to identify and immediately freeze. That is
so you are directed to identify.
Yes. Yeah.
And
immediately.
Yeah.
Actually, okay. We've got people who are asking where are we broadcasting from to. Actually, those who want to follow, we're actually broadcasting live on Mutumwa Mawere Facebook page. That is where you can follow the proceedings.
They can also follow on the 1873 FM. Let me put it there.
Okay. All right. Also on the 1873 FM.
And
right.
And TV Facebook pages.
Yes.
So okay, go ahead.
So
you are so the first order is identify.
Yes.
Then do what?
And immediately freeze. That is the first order.
And identify and then freeze.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's point 1. All accounts in the name of the above named individuals. And now individuals, right? Not all the accounts in the name of honorables, but now in the above named individuals, and any accounts in which the said individuals are directors or have a non-beneficial
interest. So these are not. This is not ice cream, is it?
No.
Huh?
Actually, ice cream has been taken away from them.
So this is you take the ice cream. Now it's frozen. Now they just frozen the ice cream. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So now it's frozen. Okay. What is the next one?
Okay. Now, any accounts or that in which the said individuals are directors or have a non-beneficial interest. So maybe now they're going.
You can unpack that. Mm-hmm. What does it mean in simple language?
Right. If they've got businesses that they have, business accounts are being closed down, which means they don't have access to anything that they owned in Zimbabwe. I think it brings us to, it takes us to an issue that we at times look at, the issue of SMM. Now here we are as directors, they are being told that, look, you don't have access to any of your companies anymore.
No, do you agree that the company is not owned by its shareholders?
Yes.
And the company is a juristic person in its own right.
That is correct.
Huh?
Yes.
Do you agree?
Yes, I do agree.
So why would an order that is targeting an individual then cross over into the company?
I think history is repeating itself now.
When you say history is repeating itself, what do you mean?
We have the issue of SMM also, where we saw a company and an individual being linked.
That's not the only one. People think, no, you are only saying SMM because of me.
No, not even. Well, that is the case study that I'm actually looking at the moment. So I'll always reference to it.
So we have Julius Makoni, Kekeche, James Mushore, Vingirai, Nyemba, all these individuals.
Yes.
They were specified in 2004. And the effect of specification is what we need to be able to look at.
Yes.
And then Katrina Kashweka said, good move. They must freeze Grace and Mugabe too. They must be left with few cents, Mpava Idzi. And their farms and houses, take them and live in them with 1.1 or 1.1. But ZANU can take over anyhow. Sita's paper. They'll be broke like anyone else. Things don't be. Ill-gotten wealth is like a cave. Soon
Yes.
it comes down. Sorry for them. And this is what people are saying.
Uh-huh.
If we lived in the country of social media, already I'm guilty as charged. And as we speak, Chombo is right now in court. And somebody who was giving us an update said Maduku is putting a spirited fight on behalf of Chombo, while other people are saying, let him rot. Let him disappear. Okay, let's go ahead with
it. Okay, yeah. Maybe you can scroll up on the page.
Okay, let me do that.
So that we go to point number 2. Okay, a bit more. Okay, perfect there. Right, number 2. No, I think you need to scroll down a bit.
Okay.
Yes.
Does it?
All right. Yes, that is perfect. Number 2 is you are further directed to submit in writing a return to the unit by no later than the 8th of December, which is tomorrow, 2017, listing and giving particulars, including balances of all the accounts that you would
Hello? 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 Hello, can you hear me? I'm trying to get hold of Wildfire. I can't seem to be getting hold of him. I think we got cut somewhere in the broadcast. Okay. So we have the number 3. When you have not identified any relevant account, you shall nevertheless submit a new return. That is what the Reserve Bank is asking. This is from the Financial Intelligence Unit. It then goes on to say, when you are in doubt regarding whether or not any particular account is linked to the named subject. Now it is clear that Professor Moyo and Kasukuwere are now subjects. They are now referred to as subjects, and you shall contact the unit for further direction. the effect of the freeze is that except any inflows into the account, if money is coming into the account, then there's no problem. But any money that comes out of the account, that is now government business. You can't draw that money out at all. So that is now the law. For people who didn't know what an order is, I guess now it's very clear that an order has been issued and an order is now in motion. It's now being implemented. You have, it means whatever assets they have. For people whatever assets they have in the system, those assets can no longer be theirs. It's done, and that is now the law. If you have any questions on this, what it means is that as we speak, there is actually no way that there's no way that they can access their accounts anymore. What do you have to say about this? This is not the first time this has happened. We will come back with documents that also show what happened to some of us, what it means to suddenly lose financial identity and financial independence. Morning Simbarashe Mnemba, morning Dompeishi, morning Katrina, morning to everybody who is interested in knowing that people don't forget. Madoda, Glovu, Mawere, were you cleared of your Zimbabwe crimes? Fortunately, I was despecified, but I'm not sure whether I'm cleared. If I'm seen on these platforms, maybe my name has been reinstated. You never know what can happen while you are sleeping. Any day somebody can wake up and say your name must be included in the new Commonwealth of no wealth. Whatever wealth you have is taken by the state. Samson Sadauchi, you are saying you can't hear me. I'm still live broadcasting. I hope you can hear me now. Priscilla, Tena, anything can happen. And I am sure that wherever they are, Professor Moyo and Kasukuwere are thinking outside the box of ZANU-PF. Okay. This is ZANU-PF versus ZANU-PF. This is what we have, ZANU-PF and ZANU-PF. And this is not the opposition fighting the ruling party. If this can happen within the ruling party, can you imagine what can happen to somebody who is not part of the ruling party? This is the challenge we have. Welcome back, Wildfire.
No, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, this is real fire. It's been 37 years of suffering for us. What goes around comes around. Jabulani's father, will this affect them too? Or is it coming to everyone of ZANU PF? No. If you were in the wrong basket, the long arm of the law will pick you up of the wrong basket. And Yvonne Matonodze, Mr. Mawere, those who are freezing, hope their hands are clean. No, they won't want to leave government. If they are dead, they will kill you because they want to remain in government. So nobody can look at them. Mr. Mawere, are you going to start again with Shabani, as the president said, we need to build a new Zimbabwe? While they are building a new Zimbabwe, last night, an order was issued.
In the midst of building a new Zimbabwe.
Yeah, imagine I go to Shabani, I produce for 1 month, and I'm accused of externalization. And then Russia Masere, Commonwealth of no wealth. That's good. A wealth may not be common. So when we say commonwealth, the one thing that may not be common is wealth. Right now, I think it's not a laughing matter. It's not a joke.
That is correct.
You kept your money in a bank, hoping that you withdraw it today, only to find there's a new instruction saying you must be alienated from your money. So, welcome, Grace Quinje, long time. The most worrisome lot are the ones who celebrate injustice, lawlessness, and thuggery. There's no new era here. We are in for a long war. You can say that again, Grace. At least you share the good name, Grace. Some people may say you're amazing, Grace. Godfrey Guza, Sharp Priscilla. What will happen to Ms. Mugabe's farms? I think right now they are looking for a visitor. If there are farms, do you think Ms. Mugabe is alive in the contractual market, Wildfire? Do you think she's still alive?
No, at the moment, I think they have silenced her. She's got no voice, and there's nothing more she can say. All she can do at the moment is pray and hope that they don't come after her.
Right now, she can't even walk on the street.
Yes, because look, what do they call them? Pfebve is waiting on her.
She can't have interface rally anymore.
No, she's been silenced, and the microphone has been taken away from her.
Completely.
Yes. So there is no way her voice can...
She goes to the farm. You know, this is a repeat of the story that was being played when white farmers were losing farms.
Yes, yes.
I mean, Kasukuwere says, Grace must not be spared here. I'll be disappointed for Nekarume make Mugabe. They stole a lot from the citizens of Zimbabwe. Whoever is doing this freezing of accounts, business accounts, must not leave Bob Nana Chiwuri. Mr. Then Sam, okay, go ahead.
I'm saying, I think, I don't know whether if they are to freeze Bob's account, that would be ideal. the fact that we still don't know the terms and conditions of Bob stepping down, what was agreed upon, maybe that's something we would have to look at. See if Bob will be visited.
That's right. We don't know what the deal is.
Yes.
Somebody says Bob has already gone to Singapore. I don't know whether you heard that one.
No, I haven't heard it. There's so much speculation. Maybe until and unless we actually see Bob in Singapore, that's when we'll believe that he's gone there. He might still be in his Blue Room residence.
That's right. He was, I think, he was supposed to go to Stamp's funeral. He was invited, but I think he couldn't make it because of he's busy. They have made him so busy. Okay, Simon Mugunzu.
Actually, we've got a tweet by Professor Jonathan Moyo. He says the real risk and the possibility that bank accounts can be frozen just like that without due process in the so-called New Era Zimbabwe run by the military spells doom for ordinary people or businesses and worse for investors.
Okay, that's on this page.
Yes, that's all. If you go on Twitter right now, he posted it an hour ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Because there are people who say, look, Jonathan is just getting what he deserves. What would you say to that?
I don't know whether he's getting what he deserves. Look, life has its own way of telling out a story. There's been many cases of mistreatment of a lot of individuals. So Jonathan Moyo is not an exception in this case. If he's getting what he deserves, well, I don't know. All I can say is one or the other, life is a way of retelling the story or showing you how things really work out.
Okay, then I got Simon Mugunzu. Mr. Mawere, if you are caught to reinvest with security guarantees, what's your take, or do you have conditions, or should I say you close the SMM chapter? And I can only use Grace Quinje to answer you. Those advocating justice and rule of law are not justifying looting others, including Mnangagwa himself, Obet Mpofu, and many more. There should not be a selective application of the law. If there is selective application of the law, Simon, would you invest? Priscilla says, yes, we don't want her voice anymore. That Gucci woman, she must rot where they are with the hubby. Priscilla, listen to what Grace is saying. Grace is making a point perhaps we are not listening to. She is making a point that justice somewhere is injustice. I mean, justice somewhere. What does it produce? Or injustice somewhere produces injustice everywhere. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Okay, Jabulani's Banda. What about their daughter who wants to build a mansion in a private land? I don't think she'll build anymore. Her relationship with that land ended when her father signed a resignation letter, or whichever is earlier, or when the military chose to fumigate
and get rid of rowdy characters, as they put it.
That's right.
Elements, criminal. Then we've got Michael Sims, who says to Professor, I see you are pained, wawacha. I don't know.
That they are saying Professor Moyo must not have a voice because he's already tainted by a past.
Yes. The other one says, just go and get your accounts opened, provide what they need, and you will be okay. I don't know if the professor is willing to go back to Zimbabwe to go and reopen his accounts, else you feel like Chombo.
I mean, that's a big one.
Because it goes on to say, I remember worst times when accounts were wiped out without consent. So why complain now, Professor?
Oh, you remember what happened in the casino economy?
Casino economy. Okay, maybe you can enlighten me.
It's called Gono economy.
Oh, yes, I think I had 15 trillion in my account at some point.
During those crazy days. You woke up in the morning, there was no money. There was an order of a different nature. Yeah. Okay. Interface rally being organized at Chikurubi by Chipanga and Chombo. So Grace will be there soon. I guess there's new interface rallies. Moyo, a good country by selfish individuals. Becky Thornton, Mr. Mawere, ndimi mairana Shabani mainhere. Dandisingarani. Yanga chiranwa nevamwe. But my name is part of that story called Shabani. The most worrisome lot are the ones who celebrate injustice, lawlessness, and thuggery. There is no new era here. We are in it for a long haul. Listen to Grace. So does this also affect their foreign assets and accounts as well? No, the long arm of Zimbabwean law ends at the borders of Zimbabwe, unfortunately. So it doesn't affect. And in any case, why would they put money in the bank? So if they could run away, I think the bag that they took must have contained cash. And fortunately, because of dollarization, they may have picked up the dollars that they had at home, because a home is a better bank in Zimbabwe today. Except when you can, someone can knock your door and then play some mischief with you.
Then I think it's an account by ZANU-PF Patriots. It says, did you follow procedures or due process when you store ZimDef money? Yes, there is a new era in Zimbabwe. The only problem in the new era is it is not compatible with you. We will use old ways when dealing with you.
So, Grace, you hear what they're saying? They're saying the old ways have been tried and tested.
And that is what works.
And that's what works.
It might be a new dawn, but what works at the moment is it's chinyakare. The old tricks are the ones that works.
And then Brian Tabete, this is deep to me. All of them are. And more Eswa Wanaka. What does the law say about freezing accounts? This is worrisome, especially when we want to attract investors. It says if the Financial Intelligence Unit and the people who act in its name have reason to suspect that the money you are holding is a proceed or was obtained unlawfully, then they can issue a freezing order for the purpose of investigating how the money got legs into your account, where it came from. And you, Machona, Professor Johnny Panonaka, he is being crippled slowly. Maybe all this will bless us with the professor's silence. Some people are celebrating. And for me, they've been celebrating for the past 18 years. How are you guys? Hope you're enjoying your Zimbabwe, Adija says. We are all over the world, but we are here concerned about the state of affairs in Zimbabwe. I think it may be a laughing matter to others, but we need to think and reflect on what this means. If this can happen to me today, it can also happen to you.
That is
Are
correct.
we supposed to fasten our seat belts and think that where we are going is safe? Isabel Mushauri, unfortunately, the law of Zimbabwe then is flawed in that regard because they might as well stay away and enjoy their wealth offshore. Yeah, in fact, you can't, the Zimbabwean law does not apply extraterritorially. I thought people would say, let's have the law take its course. But these guys are out of the country. Lucky that they are not trophies for trophy hunters.
We also have another tweet from Mzaya Hector. He says, due process. Tell us, Jonzo, did you use due process to loot ZimDef money? Only crying for that now when it suits you. When SK looted youth funds, where was due process? It is only your criminal activities catching up with you, my big-headed bro. It is Wero with us citizens.
Okay, I think there's already a verdict, which is the People's Court.
Yes.
He's saying that nobility Magawade says Moyo deserves everything coming to him, a selfish and corrupt professor.
Yeah, I mean, the president said in his inauguration speech, the voice of the people is the voice of God. I guess the people have spoken and the president is acting according to the voices of the people.
Madoda Ndova says, Mawere, I've seen pictures of you with Wicknell Chivayo and Grace Mugabe. What business do you have with them, with either of them? No business at all. I don't have any business with them. I don't have any business with Wicknell. I don't have business. Those pictures are old, but pictures don't get old anyway. Then Che Ernest, the fate of Moyo and Kasukuwere is fashioned in the same way Mawere lost abandonments. Study this carefully. Please, that's what we need to study. You are right, She. When it was Mawere, I think Professor Moyo thought, no. Mawere anotaurisa siyana naye. Mawere atingatori nyaya yake rega azvirwire ari kure. I believe we need to vote for real community MPs. Fred Maturi, I don't know what is a community MP. Tafazwa says the law should take its course. We can't have these guys cry foul because it's now you who is under the knife. Anyone corrupt should be dealt with. The voice of the people is the voice of the people. Grace says you have fought a long fight, Mtuma, and been consistent. Well done. And may you, outside ZANU-PF Tagari, to be a champion in the area of justice and restoration of Zim economy. The net is wider. There's need for education. The masses have to understand this is not about them. Never will. Grace, you are so right. The problem we have is that people never learn. Right now we are celebrating Kasukuwere, a human being like you and me. I don't know how he made his money. I don't know his private affairs. Neither do I know what a gay person does in a bedroom. I am not there. I don't know whether wildfire you see the problem we face.
Yes. I mean, most of the time people expect individuals to know it all, but you can only know what is revealed to you. What is not revealed to you, you can never know.
Grace will remember more than 10 years ago. We're still talking the same thing. And there are people in the country who don't even know that 13 years have gone by and Shabani Mashaba mine is closed. How many people have been out there advocating for the rule of law? Maybe it's good that Jonathan and Kasukuwere are where they are today. It will highlight what needs to happen. And perhaps it will give us an opportunity to also know what this SMM matter is all about. Because it's very difficult for you to tell somebody about this problem. Because they say it's your problem. You are eating with them. Some people even take a picture and say Mawere deserves it. So Grace in Atlanta, welcome Grace. I'm worried where the country is leading us. The country is not leading us anywhere, Grace. We have the capacity to do harm and mischief. Once they succeeded in ending democracy and turning Zimbabwe into a one-party state, the ZANU-PF will orchestrate a massive propaganda campaign. How should they invite diaspora people to invest? How would they invite diaspora people to invest? These people have milked us for quite a long time, says Alex Zenyika. Let them feel the full weight of justice. Is it justice when it's selective? These people should be locked for decades to stop them from regrouping and work against what Zimbabweans want to build. What if one criminal is closing out another criminal?
Yeah, that's really deep, because look, it's a very interesting, because some people are saying I'm an ordinary person, but have not had my bank account frozen or examined. That makes you, Prof, an extraordinary person. So it's very interesting what is happening at the moment for the so-called less ordinary individuals like Professor Moyo.
Yeah, can you imagine? Then Tafadwa, let's advocate. These people have milked us for a long time. Let them feel the okay. Tafadwa said, let's advocate for the reopening of SMM. Under what conditions?
And where would you want to start advocating, and where do you begin? I mean, it's been what, 14 years now?
13 years.
13 years, yes. So where do we begin? Where do you begin? Because for the past 13 years, people have been speaking about it, but no one has been paying attention, or no one has been willing to actually talk about it or pay an ear as to the affairs of SMM. What would make them change their mind now?
Okay, then Grace, Lakson Chimeza, but the same voice of the people want those thieves belonging to La Costa faction get arrested, and Pfebve being one of them. How can the Minister of Home Affairs arrest himself?
Yeah.
Then Grace says, yes, a fight of criminals on point. Adam Forbes, so what are you saying is we are in the same bus with a different driver? You are in a Titanic, my friend. Adam. There are some people who have been thrown out to the sharks. Levi Moyo, ZANU-PF specializes in making tools and making enemies out of people, nothing else. ZANU-PF doesn't specialize, but human beings can surprise you. Frank Matapeta, the Frank Matapeta, knowing what you are capable of in terms of running businesses, I'm hoping that things back where we were and you get that chance of developing the country. SMM, we are the SMM families, formerly Shabani, thank you. Emmanuel Zingira, I meant Shabani Mine, thank you. Roy Rongwenya, Mr. Mawere, is it the real Jonathan who is tweeting or someone is tweeting on his account, on his behalf? Yes, it is the real Jonathan. He's not dead. He's not in prison. He's a free man like you and me. I am failing to agree with the fact that Chombo is dancing in Chikurubi. What? Don't say Jonathan and Kasukuwere were set free. Were they set free? Do we have the facts? We'll try to get hold of what? Of Jonathan and Kasukuwere. Let's try to hunt them. Well, can we find them?
Yes, I'm actually on it as we speak, trying to fish out the prof and find exactly where he is and see if we can speak to him today.
Whether we can have an exclusive interview with him.
Yes, so I'm actually doing that as we speak.
Okay.
Yes.
Somehow something is not adding up. I don't know if anybody is realizing this. There is selective justice in Zimbabwe at the moment. It has always been selective, Iro. And that is a fact. Only the enemies of Mnangagwa are being targeted, not criminals. So how did Jonathan and Kasukuwere survive? We want to know from them. If they are alive there, we want to know from them whether they survived by the grace or by amazing grace.
And it really will be interesting just to also get their experiences when their houses were raided at 2 a.m. for 15 minutes by the ZDF members.
Yeah. So I believe if SMM rise to the new honorable president, the company may be given a new life. Do you really need a country where you write to the president to open a mine? The president is inviting all citizens to stimulate economic growth, and I'm sure SMM is one of the important companies in Zimbabwe. I don't know, Tim Rich, whether you would like to be in a country where the president is involved in everything that happens in it. I write a letter, then what about other thousands of investors who are there? Who are they going to write to? Adam Forbes, I believe that all the criminals that use the ZANU-PF banner to loot the Zimbabwean economy and the country should lose everything and bank accounts frozen and all ill-gained wealth repatriated back to the country. I don't know about that, but we need the rule of law. At Tafazo, we all know what companies like SMM is capable of doing for the country, not for the country, for the customers. The country doesn't want the product, but we need the rule of law. Companies that will change the affairs of the people, reopen SMM and not blame or look at its directors like criminals. We cannot have people with vendettas, with SMM directors go unpunished when SMM and more companies can forge a new path of recovery. So Mawere, Konsi Sasa Behane, and then I have Cheese here, talking about freezing of accounts outside the national borders. Is it possible to freeze accounts even in Swiss and British Virgin Islands? You have to apply and set out the reasons for doing so. And how safe are monies that are deposited in offshore accounts, especially in these two countries I alluded to above? Right now, because of these concerns about illicit financial flows and money laundering, nothing is safe. Becky Thornton, my family is owed thousands by Shabani Mine. You are not the only one, I guess. When was the money owed? And Tencent, Jean-Marie, we need investors under conducive conditions that enable them to run their business, creating jobs for our people. So that's the latest we have. So we will come back with an update. And Wildfire, on your side, do you have anything?
No, at the moment, except that a story that I'm seeing. I don't know whether it's a developing story, where Chombo is caught in another land scandal.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that's a new innovation.
Yes. So basically, what they're saying is the former minister is in the middle of a land scandal involving New Parkland, where he is accused of unlawfully evicting residents who had built their houses as far as back as 2005. So this is yet another story which is developing. We'll give much more details later on when we come back.
Okay, so I think we can also look for Professor Moyo and maybe try to, if anyone knows where Kasukuwere is.
I've actually inboxed the good professor. Let's hope that you get back to me.
Does he accept messages on his?
It doesn't allow you to inbox, but I just tweeted. Since he's good at Twitter, hopefully he'll get it. But I'll try and get his email address or phone number and see if I can reach him. Yeah.
If anyone is watching there and you know how we can get hold of Professor Moyo, he's on the wanted list. And if we can get Kasukuwere, he's also on the wanted list. We need to know where they are, what they have to say for themselves. Because there are many questions out there, including how they managed to get money to build mansions in a poor country, how they managed to live a life of royalty in a country that has no royalty, who is rich. So we want them. If you want Professor Moyo, say yes. Just type Y. If you want Kasukuwere, just type yes. So let's just give the message. If you want Kasukuwere on air, please type okay. If we get many yeses, we might they may be encouraged to come.
Yeah, I mean it's like a petition. Bring Prof and Kasukuwere live on 1873 TV.
Hashtag bring Prof on air.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, the likes of Stanley Nkomo, actually saying a yes. Tawanda Lampard, just one yes is enough.
Okay. I think by popular demand, let's try now to find Kasukuwere and Professor.
Yes, on it. Let's see if we can unearth them wherever they are so that we can come back and have a discussion with them, yes.
Okay. Conchi says, and Joao, Who else do you want on air? You want Kasukuwere? You want Professor Moyo? You want Joao? Okay. We want to see how they will dance to their own tunes. Abigail, yes. Peggy Marumaoko, yes. Kudakwashe Jwaka, yes. Becky Thornton, yes. Adam Forbes, he wants ED to come on air. Okay. Who else?
ED is too busy at the moment, trying to put the country back where it belongs.
Says he wants Grace. And TC Achero Namzukuru Joao. Onward Machaka, yes. Charles Murimwa, yes. Tencent Jemari, yes. Tawanda Lampard, we want Jones, please. Adam Sikai, it's time to clean up Zimbabwean criminals. Grace Rurezo Chinamasa is in the ruling party. Mona Ukura, the Mugabe boys, Lambert, Tipeiwo Jonzo, TC amazing Grace too. Why hunting for Kasukuwere and Jones, who ran away? All those remaining in power have a lot to answer. Lakson Chimeza. Makuwere, let's start with Kasukuwere first.
Okay. I guess we've got a long list of people that we need to bring on air. We'll try and see if we can get all these individuals for a series of segments.
Okay, I think we want Jones' head. President Gabriel, no dignity, but left with Grace.
But is it head or head?
Yeah.
The one who said they want just.
No, they want Jones' head.
Oh, head. Okay. Now I get it.
Petros says, I want a trophy until I see Professor's head on the altar. I'm not happy.
Okay.
So that's, I think, it's 2 minutes past 12. So let's try to retreat and see whether we can get any one of these people. And they say we need answers.
Yes.
Who their fathers are. Let's start with those that are in Zimbabwe. Don't waste time looking for people who are not there. Investigate all ministers from previous governments. Why start with the Jonzo and Kasukuwere? That is the message. So I think with that, we are done here.
Yes, we are done for now. We will come back later on. But the people shouldn't forget that later on, 6 p.m., we've got Professor Plo Lumumba on the 1873 TV live with Mutuma Mawere.
Thank you. Someone wants super. Somebody wants the... We are suffering because of G40. We want Mpofu on air. Thank you very much.
Okay, no, thank you.
Okay.